Why did Jesus say, "Pray that your flight be not on the Sabbath"? Did Jesus believe the Sabbath would still matter long after his resurrection? If not, why did he tell his disciples to pray that their flight be not on the Sabbath? If the Sabbath was abolished, why would it matter decades later? Could it be that Jesus himself confirmed the Sabbath was never done away with? Stay with us as we challenge skeptics and non-believers to disprove these facts. In Matthew 24:20, Jesus warns his followers about the destruction of Jerusalem, saying, "But pray ye that your flight be not in the winter, neither on the Sabbath day." This prophecy was spoken nearly 40 years before the city fell in AD 70, long after his resurrection. But here's the question. If the Sabbath was no longer relevant, why would Jesus even mention it? Let's break down the facts and challenge skeptics to explain this verse. Fact number 1. Jesus gave this warning for the future, not the past. Matthew 24:15-20 describes the coming destruction of Jerusalem in AD 70. Jesus told his disciples to pray that their escape would not happen on the Sabbath. If the Sabbath was abolished after the resurrection, then why would this even be a concern? Fact number 2. Jesus acknowledged that the Sabbath would still be observed. If the Sabbath was meant to end at the cross, why would Jesus warn about keeping it 40 years later? The destruction of Jerusalem happened in AD 70. This means the Sabbath was still relevant decades after Christ's resurrection. Fact number 3. Why would fleeing on the Sabbath be a problem? The Sabbath was a day of rest, and gates to cities were often closed. Many Jews and early Christians still observed the Sabbath, meaning there would be nowhere to hide or seek aid. The fact that Jesus acknowledged this proves that the Sabbath was not abolished. Fact number 4. The early Christians continued keeping the Sabbath Acts 13:42-44. Paul and the Gentiles worshipped on the Sabbath. Acts 16:13. Paul observed the Sabbath outside the synagogue, proving it wasn't just for Jews. If Jesus abolished the Sabbath, why did his followers continue keeping it? Fact number 5. Nowhere in the Bible does Jesus say the Sabbath was abolished. Many assume Jesus fulfilled the law, meaning the Sabbath no longer applies. But Matthew 5:17-18 is clear. "Think not that I am come to destroy the law, but to fulfill." Mark 2:27-28. The Sabbath was made for man, not man for the Sabbath. If Jesus is Lord of the Sabbath, how could it be irrelevant? Challenge to skeptics. If the Sabbath was abolished, why did Jesus warn about fleeing on it 40 years after his resurrection? Show us the verse that says the Sabbath was no longer important. If you can't, then the truth is clear. Jesus confirmed the Sabbath would still be kept long after his time on earth. Call to action. The evidence is undeniable. Jesus never abolished the Sabbath. Instead, he warned about events decades later, proving it was still important. Now that you know this, will you follow the Bible or man's traditions? If this video challenged you, hit like, share, and subscribe for more powerful biblical teachings. Drop a comment. Do you believe the Sabbath was abolished? Let's discuss.